With profound, humble gratitude and love to all venerated enlightened masters, we bow to the Almighty in soulful gratefulness for gifting us with their holy, blessed presence. May all beings be awakened by their divine grace.
Part 3 of 4.
Etc.
Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule.
I must seek nothing, but I must be most content with whatever I have from God. True poverty is that of the beggar, who is glad to receive alms from anyone, but especially from God. Please continue watching for insights on the spiritual life by the Reverend Thomas Merton, vegetarian.
Vegan, 'cause we too are fearful of torture and death.
Whilst visiting the enchanting alpine lakes of Andorra, greet the friendly locals with Molt gust, which means pleased to meet you in Catalan. I am Antoni. The nature-loving people of Andorra join you in gratitude to God for the bountiful natural produce we get to enjoy. May the divine awaken humans to the fact that animal people are God's children too, not food, and all deserve to live free and happy lives. Welcome to Finding God from Thoughts in Solitude by the Reverend Thomas Merton, vegetarian, part 2 of 2 on Words of Wisdom. The Reverend Thomas Merton, an important Catholic mystic and spiritual thinker, was born in 1915 to a New Zealand father and an American mother. The many life situations he encountered in his youth led him to explore religion and spirituality, and eventually to devote his life to God by becoming a monk and later a deacon at the Abbey of Gethsemane, a part of the Order of Trappists in Kentucky, USA. He also enjoyed living alone in a hermitage in the monastery's wilderness area. During his monastic life, Thomas Merton developed his writing talent by translating religious texts and writing biographies. He also penned poetry as well as books and articles on topics ranging from spirituality to social justice and peace. One of Merton's most famous statements was, "For me to be a saint means to be myself. Therefore, the problem of sanctity and salvation is in fact the problem of finding out who I am and of discovering my true self." He also said, "We are living in a world that is absolutely transparent, and God is shining through it all the time." This is not just a nice story or a fable, it is true. Believing in the equality of all religions, Thomas Merton became deeply interested in Eastern traditions in the later years of his life. He also held lively discourses with His Holiness, the 14th Dalai Lama. Today, the life and works of the wise Reverend are still studied at the Thomas Merton Center in Kentucky, USA, and the International Thomas Merton Society. Let us continue with selections from Thomas Merton's book, Thoughts in Solitude, with enlightening insights on how to be honest in your longing for God with no expectations, and then you may truly find Him. Part 2. The Love of Solitude, Chapter 7. When I am liberated by silence, when I am no longer involved in the measurement of life, but in the living of it, I can discover a form of prayer in which there is effectively no distraction. My whole life becomes a prayer. My whole silence is full of prayer. The world of silence in which I am immersed contributes to my prayer. The unity which is the work of poverty in solitude draws together all the wounds of the soul and closes them. As long as we remain poor, as long as we are empty and interested in nothing but God, we cannot be distracted, for our very poverty prevents us from being pulled apart, distracted. If the light that is in thee be darkness. Suppose that my poverty be a secret hunger for spiritual riches. Suppose that by pretending to empty myself, pretending to be silent, I am really trying to cajole God into enriching me with some experience. What then? Then everything becomes a distraction. All created things interfere with my quest for some special experience. I must shut them out, or they will tear me apart. What is worse, I myself am a distraction. But unhappiest thing of all, if my prayer is centered in myself, if it seeks only an enrichment of my own self, my prayer itself will be my greatest potential distraction. Full of my own curiosity, I have eaten of the tree of knowledge and torn myself away from myself and from God. I am left rich and alone, and nothing can assuage my hunger. Everything I touch turns into a distraction. Let me seek then the gift of silence in poverty and solitude, where everything I touch is turned into prayer, where the sky is my prayer, the birds are my prayer, the wind in the trees is my prayer, for God is all in all. For this to be so, I must be really poor. I must seek nothing, but I must be most content with whatever I have from God. True poverty is that of the beggar who is glad to receive alms from anyone, but especially from God. False poverty is that of a man who pretends to have the self-sufficiency of an angel. True poverty, then, is a receiving and giving of thanks, only keeping what we need to consume. False poverty pretends not to need, pretends not to ask, strives to seek everything and refuses gratitude for anything at all. Chapter 8. If therefore they shall say to you, Behold, he is in the desert, go ye not out. Behold, he is in the closets, believe it not. For as lightning cometh out of the east, and appeareth even into the west, so shall the coming of the Son of Man be. Holy Bible, Matthew, chapter 24, verse 26 and 27. Christ, who will come unexpectedly at the end of time, and no one can guess the moment of his coming, comes also to those who are his own at every moment of time, and they cannot see or guess his coming. Yet where he is, there they are. Like eagles, they gather by instinct, not knowing how, and they find him at every moment. Just as there is no way of saying with certainty where and when he will appear at the end of the world, so too there is no way of saying with certainty where and when he will manifest himself to contemplative souls. There are many who have sought him in the desert and have not found him there, and there are many who have hidden themselves with him in reclusion, and he has refused himself to them. To catch him is as easy as catching the lightning, and like lightning he strikes where he pleases. All truly contemplative souls have this in common, not that they gather exclusively in the desert or that they shut themselves up in reclusion, but that where he is, there they are. And how do they find him? By technique? There is no technique for finding him. They find him by his will, and his will, bringing them grace within and arranging their lives exteriorly, carries them infallibly to the precise place in which they can find him. Even there, they do not know how they have got there or what they are really doing. As soon as a man is fully disposed to be alone with God, he is alone with God, no matter where he may be, in the country, the monastery, the woods, or the city. The lightning flashes from east to west, illuminating the whole horizon and striking where it pleases, and at the same instant the infinite liberty of God flashes in the depths of that man's soul, and he is illuminated. At that moment he sees that though he seems to be in the middle of his journey, he has already arrived at the end, for the life of grace on earth is the beginning of the life of glory. Although he is a traveler in time, he has opened his eyes for a moment in eternity. Chapter 9. It is a greater thing and a better prayer to live in him who is infinite, and to rejoice that he is infinite, than to strive always to press his infinity into the narrow space of our own hearts. As long as I am content to know that he is infinitely greater than I, and that I cannot know him unless he shows himself to me, I will have peace, and he will be near me and in me, and I will rest in him. But as soon as I desire to know and enjoy him for myself, I reach out to do violence to him who evades me. And in so doing, I do violence to myself and fall back upon myself in sorrow and anxiety, knowing that he has gone his way. In true prayer, although every silent moment remains the same, every moment is a new discovery of a new silence, a new penetration into that eternity in which all things are always new. We know, by fresh discovery, the deep reality that is our concrete existence here and now, and in the depths of that reality we receive from the Father light, truth, wisdom, and peace. These are the reflection of God in our souls, which are made to his image and likeness. For more information about Thomas Merton, vegetarian, please visit merton.org.
When you eat plants, you'll also be saving the planet, which is being destroyed at an unprecedented rate due to factory farming and global warming. Chef AJ, vegan.
Thoughtful viewers, it was a delight that you could join us today on Words of Wisdom. Coming up next is the Amazigh, a celebration of kinship and culture of North Africa, right after noteworthy news. May the providence lead you on your path to spiritual awakening.
Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule and suprememastertv.com/WOW.
Nos programmes offrent plusieurs langues. Veuillez visiter suprememastertv.com/schedule et suprememastertv.com/WOW.
Nuestros programas ofrecen varios idiomas. Visiten suprememastertv.com/schedule и suprememastertv.com/WOW.
Нашите предавания предлагат много езици. Моля вижте suprememastertv.com/schedule и suprememastertv.com/WOW.